Stopping by woods. On a snowy evening double quotes. By Robert Frost. Line by line explanation. Whose woods these are I think I know. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here. To watch his woods fill up with snow. These lines are the opening stanza of the poem. Stopping by woods on a snowy evening by Robert Frost. The speaker is describing a winter evening in which they have stopped to watch the snow falling in the woods. The first line sets the scene by establishing the speaker's location. They are in the woods. The phrase, I think I know, suggests that the speaker is familiar with the woods and the owner of the property, although they are not entirely certain. The second line provides some contrast between the woods and the nearby village where the owner of the property resides. This line suggests that the woods are isolated and remote, while the village is a more populated and developed area. The third line reveals that the speaker is aware that they are trespassing on someone else's property. They acknowledge that the owner of the woods will not see them stopping there, which suggests that the speaker may be breaking the law by trespassing. The final line suggests that the speaker is taking a moment to appreciate the beauty of the winter scene before them. The phrase, watch his woods fill up with snow, describes the snowfall as it accumulates on the trees and the ground. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake. The darkest evening of the year. The first line of this stanza anthropomorphizes the speaker's horse, suggesting that it is aware of the unusual nature of their stopping in the woods without a clear purpose or destination. This line also adds an element of humor to the poem, as the speaker imagines what their horse might be thinking. The second line emphasizes the isolation of the speaker's location, as there is no farmhouse or other human dwelling nearby. This line also suggests that the speaker may be taking a risk by stopping in such a remote location, as they could become stranded or lost in the woods. The third line adds to the sense of isolation by describing the frozen lake, which further emphasizes the stillness and quiet of the winter scene. The word darkest suggests that the evening is particularly late or that the sun has already set, further adding to the sense of darkness and solitude. The final line of this stanza echoes the themes introduced in the first stanza by referring to the evening of the year. This phrase suggests a turning point or a moment of transition, which may be significant for the speaker or for the natural world around them. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The stanza describes a scene of a traveler on horseback, stopping by a wooded area on a snowy evening. The traveler's horse shakes its harness bells, which can be interpreted as a signal or a questioning gesture, as if the horse is asking its rider if they have made a mistake by stopping in the middle of the woods. The only other sound that can be heard is the gentle rustling of the wind and snowflakes falling softly to the ground. The use of sound is significant in this stanza, as it adds to the peaceful and tranquil atmosphere that is present throughout the poem. The easy wind and downy flake create a sense of calm and serenity, while the sound of the harness bells adds a touch of liveliness and movement to the scene. The use of personification in this stanza is also noteworthy, as the horse is given a human-like quality of questioning its surroundings. This could be interpreted as the speaker's own sense of doubt and hesitation in stopping in the woods, or as a metaphor for the speaker's inner conflict between the desire to rest and the obligation to keep moving forward. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. These lines are the last stanza of the poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. The speaker is describing the peaceful and serene scene of snow falling in the woods, but also acknowledges that he has responsibilities and obligations that require him to keep moving forward. The repetition of "and miles to go before I sleep" emphasizes the speaker's sense of duty and the distance he must travel before he can rest. The word sleep here may also be interpreted as a metaphor for death, suggesting that the speaker has much to accomplish before his time on earth is over. The phrase promises to keep implies a sense of obligation or commitment, suggesting that the speaker has made promises to others that he must fulfill before he can rest. This creates a tension between the desire for rest and the need to fulfill responsibilities, which is a common theme in Frost's poetry. The contrast between the peaceful beauty of the woods and the speaker's sense of duty creates a sense of conflict or tension, highlighting the complexity of human experience. The poem, as a whole, invites the reader to reflect on the balance between personal desire and social responsibility, and the challenges of finding a path between the two.